Question number 1. What is the worst date you've ever been on?
Fortunately, I've had pretty good luck with them, but one time I had a girl just came over to my house. It was going to be something simple. Mom and Dad weren't home because I got them out of the house luckily. But then, so we were into my room and things got kind of fun when Mom and Dad came home and I didn't hear the door open. And right in the middle of it, they walked in the room and I had to throw a blanket over her and say we were just, I didn't even know what I said. We were just studying or something. Made up the worst lie you could have ever heard. It was bad.
He took me to the drive-in and we watched Scooby-Doo on top of his van with his mom.
She decided she wanted to go to a Kinko's and hang out there for a couple hours, so we went to Kinko's and made copies of flyers for a show, and that was quite possibly the worst date I've ever had.
One time I went on a date from this guy. I had a crush on him in high school, and we hung out thinking it was probably just going to be like a really friendly thing, and I went to go get a drink, and when I sat back down, he stuck his tongue in my mouth, and I told him that wasn't a very good idea, and it was really awkward the rest of the night.
The next day, I found out from the guy's friend that I wasn't pretty enough to date him.
I have good dates.
Question number 2. What song best categorizes a current or ex-relationship?
It's kind of cliche, but probably any Taking Back Sunday song would fit, because they're all breakup songs, and every single one of their CDs is about breaking up.
Shut the Fuck Up by Cake is probably a good choice there. Good band, good song, really good statement.
And Under Pressure by Queen.
$5 by Carissa's Weird.
There's a song called, I believe it's called The Reasons by the Weaker Thans, which sums up the perfect way I feel about the girl I'm currently interested in. Not singing, but I am interested in. And I love it. If you ever have a chance to listen to them or The Weaker Thans, check it out.
Question number 3. What's the worst dating story you've ever heard?
This is actually, I heard it over in Ireland when I was on a trip, and a friend of my mom's family was telling this story, and she was dating this guy who was kind of into drugs or whatever. And so he was a little inebriated a lot of the time, and so she went over to his house one time to see him, and he told her, he goes, I've got a secret, you gotta come see. He goes, shh, shh. And he's this guy who did almost everything. So she goes up into his bedroom in his apartment, and he opens his closet door, and inside the closet door is a 6-year-old boy he abducted from the park, who he didn't know, he thought he was a goblin. So he took him and he grabbed him by the hand or something and took him home and threw him in his closet because he thought he was some kind of creature while he was on something. And so I didn't know how to feel, but it was the most horrible yet funny thing I've ever heard.
Question number 4. What would be your perfect date?
It really doesn't matter the activity as long as I really connect with the person and we have fun and laugh and joke, and I just feel good about it the next day.
Something different, I don't know, skydiving, or like taking go and vandalize something. Something weird, something you wouldn't normally hear about. But I'm also a fan of the traditional, if it's the right girl, that's how you know it's the right girl. If you're willing to take her to the dinner, to the really nice dinner and a movie, and take a traditional date.
I really want to go swimming with dolphins. Like in the ocean, that would be awesome. I would totally do that on a date.
Breaking the law with her, because I like exciting women who have contempt for authority. And yeah, it's just a good bonding experience to break the law on the first date and that sort of thing. It's like, me and her against the world.
Question number 5. Where does one go to pick up a date?
I am from Arkansas, so the internet dating kind of came in handy because, in Arkansas, you go to the Walmart.
I have friends, and then usually through their friends, like girls who are friends of mine, and they'll have friends and they'll be like, oh, hey, this is so-and-so. I'm like, really? Hello. And they just introduce me to them, like we hang out with different groups or whatever, people, and then I just kind of meet them and start talking.
Not bars. Yeah, not bars.
Mostly coffee places and local shows and stuff on local places.
The second best place is through where I work. And I work at an ice rink, so I've met a lot of figure skaters over the years, so that's been fun.
National parks, I like Earth Girls, so I don't know.
Question 6. Would you consider the internet a good place to find a date?
Depends how you define internet dating. I mean, if you're looking at it as sending MySpace messages back and forth, then you should probably go out and stop watching Walker, Texas Ranger. But, I mean, if you're going to meet somebody online, they seem cool, and then you actually meet with them up and you actually have a real connection, then if it's not based purely off someone's, like, Facebook or something, then I don't really see too much of an issue with it. You meet some cool people online.
I think it's an interesting concept. I think you can meet people that way, but I think it's harder to find out what people are really about online. I think it's a lot easier to meet them face to face and get to know them better that way.
I think internet dating sucks, actually, because I had a relationship last summer that came out of internet dating, and it ended really horribly because we just didn't know enough about each other in the first place to actually start dating.
I don't know. Like, I think it's kind of lame, and you know, I make fun of it a lot. But the truth is that I've met some really good friends from the internet, and I've actually dated people that I've met on the internet. So I think it's a good way to connect with people. Like, it cuts out, you know, a lot of the mess of finding people, because you can find people with your interests like right there. But you know, if it's like if you're dating somebody in California and you live in Chicago and it's just like, I'm in love and I'm typing, then that's not cool.
I don't even have a MySpace or any of that face space or whatever it is. I don't know, I don't like it, man. I think it's creepy. I don't know. Invasion of privacy or something, dude. I don't know, something weird about the internet.
Not at all. I've heard horrible things. People meeting other people through MySpace and Facebook, that is the most terrible thing you could ever do. Stay away from the internet.